Hello, I'm Richard Gadd, and this is my starter pack of cultural essentials. I'll start with movie, yeah. The movie that I've chosen is an old Laurel and Hardy film called The Music Box, which is essentially just the story of Laurel and Hardy trying to get a piano up the stairs. I think I was introduced to Laurel and Hardy at a very young age, and my mum always says that some of her happiest memories as a mother was sitting at the bottom of the stairs while I watched The Music Box, and she would just listen to me howling and howling and howling with laughter. It's like ultimate escapism to me. I almost feel like a sort of painful nostalgia almost in a way watching it. It makes me very moved, even though it doesn't set out to kind of move you. There's a beautiful simplicity to that comedy which perhaps doesn't exist anymore, and probably can never exist, even if it was attempted. The TV show that I recommend is The Office, the UK Office, of course. Not only is every line an absolute banger, a historical sort of line where subreddits devoted to quoting it left, right and centre, still now over 20 years on, but the humanity in it is incredible. The central character played by Richard Gadd, David Brent, I think it's one of the greatest on-screen performances of all time, because fundamentally David Brent is someone who just really is looking for love and affirmation.
I'm not used to public squeaking. I piss pronunciate a lot of my worms.
And I think behind of all of David Brent's hilarious mannerisms and the dances and all this stuff is a human desperation, which is probably the most accurate portrait of human desperation I've ever seen.
Yes, I am, boss. Like Springsteen, Born to Run, the slow branch.
See, university education didn't help you there, did it, Paul? Now, let that be a lesson to you.
My music recommendation, without a doubt, is the Pogues' very first album, Red Roses for Me. The Pogues are a Celtic sort of punk band, but they kind of exist in their own genre in a lot of ways. I probably know almost off by heart. In the rosy parks of England, we'll sit and have a drink. And kick up bloody murder in the town we love so well. And I just remember thinking, like, I'm there with them, you know, rocking about like the city, like carefree. The front man was a man called Shane MacGowan. It's single-handedly the biggest influence in my life ever. There's so many times in my life where I felt kind of lost, like there was kind of no way out of situations, and then his music would just offer me a lifeline, because it was, it would just speak to me in a way no other music could. I could talk about plays as well. One of my sort of coming of age into sort of literature was playing Macbeth in the school play. It's almost like comical to even try and compliment Shakespeare, not only because I think it's like everything that's been said has been said, but I was very influenced by Shakespeare. There was a play I saw a long time ago called Black Watch, which is basically a story about a battalion from Fife, funnily enough, which is where I grew up. And it's this remarkable sort of story about the Iraq War. It was like a beautiful adrenaline rush of dance, movement, energy, sign language, amazing, hilarious dialogue, camaraderie, perfectly drawn characters. What it did most of all was it showed the kind of tragedy of the whole thing. These men that had been carted off to an illegal war, and all they had was each other. It's one of the great Edinburgh Fringe success stories, really. You know, there's always the talk about Fleabag, of course, and Baby Reindeer and everything like that. But Black Watch, you know, it doesn't have to make it onto TV just to be a success story. Thanks for listening. I've been Richard Gadd, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.